not the person that asked you that pick.
All 4 of the games that I picked, you doubled your money because you won 3 out of 4.
What if there's some welfare person here that like put all their money on Joe? What is the pick of the week? And you go.
They should have talked to me first. This is why we need to. This is why we need to have this explanation. A lock of the week is a game where you feel it's like 70%, a 70% chance that they're gonna win that game. That's a fucking lock.
I think there's better odds in craps.
No. Not than 70%. There aren't. I'm saying if you feel
where you play it where the casino has about a 1% overall odds on it.
Right, so you can only get up to like 51 or something at the highest.
Yeah, and there's no way that
That's 70.
in football.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. With a lock of the week,
that it might be that way.
if you're a genius, that like
Why am I
knew a
filming?
guy-
I can't hold this.
I think you can. I think you can be a
Nice
sophisticated
shoes.
sports bettor where you can get that better than some of the
No,
TV
well,
movies.
yeah, they have
But
networks.
to do it consistently, it would be tough.
Yeah, well, they have. I knew a guy.
I think you could do it though.
When I lived in New
Those
York,
are new.
there was a guy
Those
who
are
was
definitely
part of this
brand
company
new.
that they researched. I mean, it was a gambling company. They had a group of people researching games, and they would, like, when they'd come up with their picks or whatever, they'd put a ton of money down, they'd make money. Because but they do a ton of research to do that.
I know, man. You can't follow any sports betting for a while without seeing that the line is so close. It's incredible how.
Well, I tell you what. I've been playing this long enough that last week, if I would have said, or somebody said you have to put $1,000 on a frickin' game. I mean, I'm
Before the games were played.
before the games are played, but I mean, if I had the money to bet, I would win more times than I lost. I mean, looking at that sheet, even though I bet against Philadelphia 20 points, when I looked at that, I was like, this is a snoozer. I mean, somebody's trying to buy something.
You bet on Philadelphia.
Right. I thought I...
But they barely didn't.
No, I
barely
did. Yes, you
not
did.
make the
What I meant was the other way, going the other way with 18 points.
Yeah, you should have
was amazing they
picked
didn't get
Houston.
close.
Right.
Houston won.
Oh, right.
Houston won.
That's what I mean. It was such a ridiculous bet. My first instincts were go with Houston, and there's no way.
That's going to happen. And you would win more of those than not.
Those are all Fresno State.
Or did you pause it? Yeah, okay. So let's get into some other issue.
Let's get to the Bob, the circumcision.
So that's what I'm saying.
We've got a...
Let me finish. My lock of the week is I'm going to lose that sometime.
Yeah.
But all I need...
Let's lose 50% of the
No,
time.
I said your bet.
Thanks for watching.
What I'm proposing is that I'm going to do 70 or 80% this year because I've got a real...
So who's your pick for next week? Let's go.
Got a real feeling for it. My pick for next week is Atlanta.
Minus or plus what?
Atlanta, what are they?
They're playing.
Who are they playing?
Plus something.
Okay, -2.
Okay.
Atlanta -2 at home.
No way.
-2.
Got any football picks there, Ryan? Bengals?
Savings account, take your trust fund, put it on the bank.
Put it on the bank.
You know what?
If you're playing Indianapolis with an 18-point spread, put it on the
If you're
bank.
playing some heavy odds in
38,
Vegas, I mean,
35.
if they offered some better odds than the
38,
point spread, I would bet on
They're gonna win.
Cincinnati. But there's a game this week that's going to be like,
Cincinnati's scored one
it's going to be the
touchdown
lock of the week.
this year.
And it's going to be Green Bay.
Okay, let's get on to something else. Let's talk about who would win in a fight or a wrestling match
It's a 1-1.
between Lupe and Dilley.
Season, the Bengals are 4-0.
Packers are favored by 1.
Yeah, that is even.
You let the Rams and let the Vikings.
Yeah, Packers, I mean, if you look at the last, even when the Bears was at best, Packers won.
They're going to bust out.
Cincinnati, huh?
Cincinnati.
Okay. And what about Lupe and Dilley?
For what? What are you talking about? One
Who-
game?
Depends on the day of the week.
If I had to
And
put
what they
money
beat
down
that
in the game,
Yeah.
it's actually silly, but I would, if I had to put money down in the game with a chance of losing it, I would put it down on Green Bay over Chicago. It's because it's a 1-1. I mean, the Packers are favored by 1 point at Chicago.
Packers are not
There's a
favored.
problem there.
Chicago's favorite.
Yeah.
I thought it was +1 on the sheet.
It is Green Bay +1.
No, I'm saying the Bears are going to win by 1 because they won all their games by 1. Check it here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, well, I believe you. But I mean, the facts don't play it out. The Packers beat the Bears twice last year, even when the Packers' offense and defense was sucking. But
One word.
to be honest, after last week, they lost 2 more
Yeah,
receivers.
it's one word as it
Packers
is.
don't
name,
have
Jim
anybody
Miller.
catch a fucking
Not even
ball.
words.
He should have
So,
won more games than he has.
That's a
He's still
sleeper
got some
game. I mean,
seasons
if
in
I
him.
was to bet big
Look at John
money,
Elway.
I guess I would have to go on the Bears.
Brett Favre's not winning more games.
You're going on the Bears
I
now?
just remembered how many Packers were
Oh,
out.
you got-
Well, what's his name? They're they had 2 tight ends. One
Never.
Anybody in the last minute.
No, wait, is it always?
Jerry with the G?
Yep. Weird, huh?
No. Kester.
Dilley, what is that boat called? The Nellie Bell?
Nellie
Nellie Bell.
I think we should all, I actually
What
got
is it?
Jared,
What
if
role
you
is
guys
it?
want to buy in on that.
Nellie Bell? I thought you were saying the Nellie Bell.
It would only take about, a few grand per person, we get that boat up and running and we'll start fishing. It's there. We could have a hell of a
You
time.
have a boat called the Nellie Bell?
We could easily have one and it would work. And we could have
And
a
we could
hell of a
make
time, and
fiction
we would
come to
actually
life.
make enough money to pay for your vacations every year. And the time is now because the fishing industry is going down and there's boats and set net sites that are cheap. Good investment, guys.
It's like buying a house in Marshall.
Yeah, better.
Six-legged turkey.
If you'd bought a house in Marshall
You
20
write off
years
your
ago,
last vacation every year. You write off your last vacation every year. You get all the salmon
summer burned
Hell, I
out.
could have been the
I was there for 2 weeks. I wasn't used to
The
that.
same with them
But it's
twice.
daytime all the
I
time.
went to
Even
a
was
Cubs
raw. We
doubleheader.
slept in a room.
Really?
Really?
Shit on the, those pitch
Root for the Cubbies if they don't win, it's a shame.
I mean,
You're outside.
I heard this before, people saying that you go there and you're freaked out by the sun. I don't believe it, but
You gotta wear it backwards.
I've seen you wear it
Who was that again?
Oh, yeah. So, Dilley, you've named this boat that you don't yet have.
Well, it's not necessarily a boat, it's an idea. It's the Nellie Bell. No, like I was saying, with the set net site, guys.
idea the Nellie Bell.
Yeah. It is this idea of going and salvaging something and making something out of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't very coherent the other night.
I was going to say that you were much more lucid the other night.
Well, maybe.
Passionate.
he wrestled you outside, but you want to keep up with that sort of freaking river.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know how
Those
tough...
are wrestling
No,
words.
no, no. If I'm going to wrestle, I want to know how tough he is. So I'd like to see, is he tougher than you?
Yep.
Hmm.
I admit it freely.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to fight it out.
Nope.
Okay.
I say we all kick our drug habit, get some money together.
Those poor dead monkeys.
Start a commune in Alaska at a set net site, man, and make the dream real.
T-Dog, I want to tell you guys about my idea for a movie.
Okay.
All right.
But somebody else is going to have to film it, I think.
Just talk into the back of the camera.
All right.
Turn it upside down.
Should make
That's whatever.
I can't slow down.
You always put the strap on. What's the deal? Okay.
There you go.
That'd be
My idea is that we have this monastery,
Talk later.
and in this monastery,
Talk about
there are monks who are celibate monks, supposedly.
Yeah.
But in truth, they abuse each other based on their hierarchical, I can't say that word.
Hierarchical?
hierarchical mass.
Hierarchical?
Yeah. Anyway, that status thing.
So
They
if you're
abuse
the...
each other. They're in charge of a prep school
Yeah.
and also a college, a small private college.
All young
And they
boys.
abuse students there too. Mostly boys, but not only boys, because there's a female prep school and also a female college just down the road. And then they also have a lake cabin. You know, it's good to have lots of scenes, lots of settings in your show. They also have a lake cabin where they take people and abuse them. And this abuse would go on you know, for 40 or 50 years before anybody. Before one honest person, you know.
And this
with
is
a
our
little bit of
protagonist.
with a little bit of backbone, would say, enough is enough. You know, law enforcement looking the other way, the deans of the university and a prep school looking the other way.
And so these are all like in British.
Church leaders looking the other way. This monastery would be affiliated with a major church
Yeah.
in the area. In fact, in the country and in the world.
In our country, or
Yeah.
oh, is it like England? They all have British accents.
Presbyterian, man.
Well, it is a freaking monastery.
They don't call it. This is a monastery, so yeah, it's the other one, dude. That one doesn't open very well. Yeah,
If
go
I
for
had
that.
said they were
And just
a bunch
kind of be
of
careful
secular
because it
ones,
kind
then
of.
maybe you would assume
Yeah.
it was a religious.
That's cool.
Why not make it a synagogue?
There's no organized.
Well, we could make it a synagogue, but
Are they gonna have British accents?
anyway, well, some of them will. And of course, the foreigners will be more likely to be abused because they'll be even.
Except they don't
more
call it
vulnerable.
abuse. They'll call it like buggery or something, right? In a
Well,
monastery.
the British.
Yeah.
Call it buggery. Yeah.
Buggery.
Night riding. Night camping. I see. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my idea for a show, but I suppose it's just too unbelievable. That couldn't possibly happen.
Yeah, did you
You
see
know?
Mad TV? They did that, some priests dancing to Nelly's It's Getting Hot
Oh,
in
yeah.
Here.
Do you have a confession?
Some fantasies you want to get
Talk
out?
about your childhood at all?
Also, Tim,
What's your
just like,
relationship with your
G-rated
minister?
movies make more than R-rated movies, so the more wholesome you can keep
Well,
it.
hey, this is as wholesome as you can get. I mean, think of all that religion, all the praying, people on their knees, all over, man.
Yeah.
You said old.
Now, did you guys catch the article? You don't read the Star Tribune, but there were four full pages
saw it.
on the St. John's situation. You know, abuse over, 4 decades, and apparently not one goddamn person
God damn.
put a stop to it. You know, I think it's one of those situations where one honest, courageous person could have put a stop to it, and no one did over decades.
What's the other theory?
The other theory is that maybe there was no complaints about it because it really wasn't that bad.
You didn't read
It
the
really
article?
didn't. I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying that maybe people were just titillated by it. Like the kids just opened them up to a bigger, sexual experience.
I thought the pretty well written article, and I thought that the most salient point was the question: every parent, relative, etc., who's had a kid go to that school and commit suicide, now wonders why.
But the ones that are still living under, why not?
No.
Why not?
Why
Why
not commit suicide? Is that what you're saying?
The ones that
Why not?
found it
That's a whole nother show,
successful
Ryan.
Why not commit suicide? That's the shit.
Stay tuned for
That is,
Why Not Commit Suicide. Do you have
Isn't that the existentialist question? When you recognize the whole situation on Earth?
I'll give you one reason.
What's that?
Doritos.
Chips.
Chips are a reason to...
Doritos are abundant in heaven.
You wouldn't be able to see the show.
Yeah, there's show. Reason enough not to commit suicide.
Tim,
Yeah,
that's an opinion.
yeah.
I heard God is a straight line to direct TV, which includes this show.
Uh-huh.
You can still watch the show.
Sure.
So his point is
Oh, yes. Yeah, if you were in heaven, you'd have to get educated
I
bowlers.
bet you have like 800 channels up there.
Oh, yeah, if you commit suicide, might not make heaven there, huh?
As some branches of Christianity and
Yeah.
That's what you
as
think.
Islam would have it,
Yeah.
Islam
They say that in Islam, too, really?
people who commit suicide,
So those guys that crashed into the
yeah,
building?
that's why it's a really tough sell, because
Yeah.
you're not supposed to, the guidelines of warfare don't permit you to attack civilians,
Yeah.
what the equivalent now would be civilians.
Yeah.
So harming civilians and killing yourself, it's against Islam.
Not
it's
good,
a tough
huh?
sell.
It's, yeah, it's...
To do that, to violate the religion
If you're
for the religion.
Christian and you're going to die and then you go and tell George Bush just before you die. Is that okay? No, you don't want to send camera out.
Okay.
Which George Bush?
Junior
George
Bush.
Yeah, Junior senior.